As we've been reporting, the Supreme Court ruled against the NCAA Monday in a case involving student athletes receiving certain benefits. The unanimous ruling allows athletes to receive education-related benefits like laptops, paid internships, and scholarships for grad school. But it does not extend to direct compensation. But some believe it could pave the way for it. For more, I'm joined now by CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson. Jessica is also a professor at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles. Jessica, good to see you again. So how significant is this ruling for both college athletes and the NCAA?
I think you laid it out very well, which is that this particular ruling is significant in the sense that it starts to open that door for college athletes. And if you look at what the majority said, what Neil Gorsuch said, writing for a unanimous majority, and then maybe even more important than that, if you look at what Justice Kavanaugh wrote in the concurrence, they're really saying, why are we treating college athletes as different? This is huge business. It's, as you said before, people are making a lot of money, billion-dollar business here. So why are college athletes not given their fair market value? Now, the reason this particular case didn't go further is because that question wasn't before the court. This was just about education-related benefits. But in his concurrence, Justice Brett Kavanaugh basically said to the parties, it was fascinating, don't you think you want to bring up another case that asks maybe that big question about compensation, or another question that I think is looming based on a rule change, which is whether or not college athletes can make money off of their name, image, or likeness? So I think it's a big deal for now because those education-related incentives are real, but it's a big deal because it seems like it's the unraveling of those rules that the NCAA imposes on college athletes.
So I want to ask you more about Justice Kavanaugh's concurrence in just a moment, but the Supreme Court found the NCAA violated antitrust laws. And normally we hear of antitrust laws when it comes to preventing a business from becoming a monopoly. So how did antitrust laws apply to the NCAA in this case?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the plaintiffs were former college athletes, and they brought this suit, which in, I think, layperson's terms essentially said this isn't fair, and in legal terms said it's not fair to the tune of an antitrust violation. Because what happened here is the NCAA is engaging in anti-competitive behavior. They've made an agreement to suppress the compensation here. They've made an agreement that college athletes cannot get their fair market value. That, therefore, degrades the fair market, and that's what those antitrust statutes really at its bottom are supposed to protect against, which is an agreement that leads to anti-competitive behavior and therefore can suppress fair market value of selling either labor or services or widgets, whatever it happens to be. In this case, it's college athletes who want to be able to obtain something for their work.
And Jessica, you touched on this a moment ago. This case is separate from the conversation over college athletes being compensated for use of their name, image, and likeness. But how might this ruling affect that debate?
So I think this ruling really opens the doors for that debate. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, if people know anything about him other than his bruising confirmation hearing, he said a number of times, I coach girls basketball. And I think you could see that background in his concurrence where he's really sympathizing with the athletes. And he took a very strong and almost strident tone here. If he can get 4 of his colleagues to join him in the next challenge, what it could mean is that this idea that the NCAA has, that fans watch because they love this idea of amateurism, that fans will leave college sports if they know that the athletes are paid. If that idea is undermined, then it really opens the floodgates for college athletes to be paid just like anybody else who's part of a big business.
So let's take a look at some of the specific language in that concurrence by Justice Brett Kavanaugh. It reads in part, quote, "Nowhere else in America can businesses get away with agreeing not to pay their workers a fair market rate on the theory that their product is defined by not paying their workers a fair market rate. And under ordinary principles of antitrust law, it is not evident why college sports should be any different. The NCAA is not above the law." So, Jessica, if you are the NCAA reading this opinion, should you be concerned about this coming from the High Court?
Deeply, assuming that Justice Kavanaugh can get some of his colleagues to join. But if you read that opinion, the NCAA has to be extremely upset. That language there, which you pointed to, is so important because he's not just saying, I feel for the college athletes. He's keying it to legal conclusions. He's saying, he's using the words fair market value. He's talking about antitrust. He's saying no organization is above the law. He's really teeing up this next challenge. If he didn't get more of his colleagues to join him because they don't want to go that far, then the NCAA doesn't need to be concerned. But if, as I suspect, he didn't get more of his colleagues to join because that just wasn't the question before them, then I think it really spells something bad for the NCAA, because college athletes, I think, are at the point, the plaintiffs are at the point where they're undermining this very old precedent where a prior Supreme Court said, you know, kind of waxed poetic about amateurism, and this is why people watch college basketball and college sports. And I think Justice Kavanaugh is really calling that into question. I suspect that when that big case does come to the court, because he's essentially invited it, that he will be the author of the majority. Probably we'll be talking about that in about a year or more. It takes a while for these things to wind their way up through the system.
But it definitely sounds like there is more to come. All right, Jessica Levinson. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank you.